Welcome, everybody, to Today in Space, episode 404, and we're back with Space Talkers 2, which is my friends Andrew Abban, Thorne Ransom, and Matt Schricker, or better known as Bostronomy. All astronomers, all astrophotographers, and it's one of the most fun human things you can do with space is stargaze. It's the simplest thing, it's the most human thing. Humans have been doing it for eternity, looking up at the sky, even though there's a lot of, light pollution and too much light in the sky in many parts of the area. Here in New England, it's challenging, but 75% of this group is from New England, and we manage. We make it happen. Andrew Abban and Thorne Ransom join us for the podcast today. We will get Matt Schricker and Bostronomy back on a future Space Talker episode, but these guys are awesome. We actually did this live, which was so much fun. I haven't done that, or at least in a very long while, if it's not like a launch or something. But the guys were great. The community came up and hung out in the chat. It was a really, really fun time. I think you're going to love this episode. I did a little bit of editing because we had some audio issues in the beginning, but when you're broadcasting to 5 different platforms at the same time across Starlink internet, and the only problem you had was a little glitch of the microphone, that's pretty good. So, very fun episode if you're into astronomy, if you're into stargazing. The Total Lunar Eclipse is coming out tonight, the night that we're releasing this. So if you do happen to catch the total lunar blood moon eclipse, make sure to check it out. I know at least Andrew Abban is going to be doing that. So we will check all those images later in the week, but enjoy episode 404, Space Talkers 2. And if it's your first time, enjoy Thorne and Andrew. They're awesome. Spread love and spread science. Don't forget to go to the link in wherever we are following us online, even if it's on the YouTube channel. There's our link, stan.store/AG3D Labs. You can see everything that we're up to, including all the 3D printing stuff. I'm wearing a 3D printing shirt here on purpose. There's so much happening behind the scenes, so much finishing up, so we can start talking about it. Make sure you're following us there. And of course, if you have any 3D printing issues, I am the part detective, and this is AG3D Printing, and we can help solve your 3D printing mystery. So go to the link in whatever platform you're following us on. Link in the bio, stan.store/AG3D Labs. See how we can help you today. Enjoy! To Today in Space Talkers. We're back. Welcome, everybody. We are live on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. It's crazy that we're doing that now. A huge difference from the last time that we all hung out. But welcome to the show, Thorne, Andrew. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Why don't you go around the room? Andrew, start with you. I know there's a bunch of people who are here to see you, but we've got we're bringing the community together, our own.
All right, guys. So I'm Andrew Abban. I am a professional astrophotographer out of the South Shore of Massachusetts, and I'm actually, believe it or not, I got into this hobby when I was 16 years old, and it's just been on the up from there. Met a lot of really cool people throughout the community, helped build a foundation, and just fell in love with the whole entire, just everything about astronomy, basically. And now, what I studied in school was graphic design, but I'm actually a full-time meat butcher. So, I mean, my nights are usually I just come home and I'm just absolutely exhausted. But I mean, sometimes you gotta push through to get that right image of the night sky. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, astronomy is just once you get hooked on it, you just love it. Basically, you want to travel everywhere for it. It's a really, really cool hobby. So, but I love picking it up as a hobby. I love being a professional astrophotographer.
Oh, agreed.
All right, Thorne, you're up.
I'm Thorne Ransom, astrophotographer. It's my hobby. All my nights are involved around that. I do a lot of outreach. I do a lot of star parties as well. But my Novak Astronomy Club, I'm doing probably 10 to 11 public events where we have like 150 to 300 people sometimes, sharing views of the night sky, sharing things with people they don't get to see. And that's really the big thing I do with my imaging, like sharing online, is just posting the pictures, showing people things that they can't see in the city. You have to go outside of the city for. So that's my biggest passion and enjoyment. And I like to travel as well. So traveling to see eclipses and other things. So yeah.
No, I love all your stuff. When you're going to go see it. That's like the next level for me. I'm not quite there yet, but it's that's one of the coolest things about this hobby is the adventure that comes with it. You know. Hey, just want to interrupt the podcast just to remind you that if you love what we're doing here, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with others, because the word of mouth has been, without a doubt, the biggest reason why this podcast still exists, why it gets to people who are also space curious and love space, is because of you guys sharing. So if you're hardcore, thank you so much. If you're brand new, tell somebody about it. Share the word. We love getting new space mega nerds. I mean, I'm a space mega nerd, right? So I love hearing from people like yourself, but also if you're just space curious, if you're just like dipping your toe in the water of space exploration in 2026, Artemis Program, SpaceX, Blue Origin, moon landings, Mars, 3i Atlas, like all that stuff. If you're interested, we would love for you to be around. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow, hit, if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit that bell so you get the alerts, and on Spotify, make sure you're following.
Yeah, we'll somehow wrangle you to come to one of these star parties, like Cherry Springs or yeah.
No, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to go these last 2 years since I found out about it from you guys. So yeah. And then the crazy thing is, so when we all met, we actually were within miles of each other in Maine for the Total Solar Eclipse in 24, which is just crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, and that all had to do with Matt, our buddy, because you know, we were jumping around locations. I had booked places in like Midwest, like I had Modoc, Indiana, I had Clyde, Ohio, I had hotels. I spent a lot of money on places that I never got to go to, just because of the weather, right? So, and then Matt had to hook up with some brother-in-law, cousin, I don't know. Didn't care.
Legitimately in the middle of nowhere, Thorne. Like this place is like doesn't even exist on the map still, believe it or not. When people ask me nowadays, I'm like, yeah, you can't even find this house on the map. He just built it by hand. It took him like 2 years.
The street number is like letters or numbers, you know? It's like, it's not.
It was wild. And the view is insane. Yeah, you can't, I mean, I've seen the eclipse before. I saw it in 2017 in a, what is it, like a park near Santee, South Carolina. But it was a tree canopy around, so we didn't get to see we couldn't see what we got to see. It was a different experience. Also the people too, so that was cool.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And I guess for myself or anyone that's new, I stargaze with my smart telescope here. So I grew up with a telescope and did a lot more, lunar like looking than anything else because I didn't know any better. But it was a Celestron, and I learned about the programming and how to position stuff. And so like this is like just next level for me. And this past year, I've actually been live streaming the telescope, which has been so much fun. So we just like put music on in the background, and I've been actually adding the audio from episodes of the podcast too. So it's on. You can basically come in and look through the telescope, and that's been I'm quiet still, huh? Well, thank you, Chad. I appreciate it. Let me fix that real quick.
No, I think it's great. I've joined a couple of your lives. I think it's great to see behind the curtain of how things are happening, because you're imaging live. You're seeing the little countdown, and it's like stacking the image live, which is a really cool experience because
Of course.
that's not how mine works. That's not the
Right.
same kind of like instant stuff. Like you can see like a little picture of it. So that's great that you can do that and also share that live, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
How's the audio
That was
this
great.
time? That's much better? Okay. New program. You know how it is. All right. Thank you, chat. All right. We're back.
Oh, there's a chat. There's people. It's not just a private conversation between us three. Okay.
Oh no. It's live.
Oh, dude, I
me put the
pushed this
chat up.
broadcast tonight like
Oh,
crazy.
Andrew's
So, I
been our
mean-
marketing department. Here, let me put the chat up.
Hey, there we
here.
go. There it is. Let's see.
Ah,
What
Look
up?
at Matt's
All
in
right,
the chat.
well, Matt,
There we go.
I'm putting you right here, chat.
There we go.
We're
Shout
back.
out, shout out
All
to
right.
Matt,
it's fine. It's
Astro Dad in the Midwest.
fine. So yeah.
Nice. Bonehead. Very nice. Nice to
Oh,
see
James,
what's
Jameson's
up?
here. Wow.
Oh, what's up?
These are all our friends, Alex, that we met out at Cherry Springs in September.
you. That's awesome.
Yep.
What's going on?
And I met
Guys-
Jameson at Cherry Springs, the actual Cherry Springs Star Party in June. So that was a hot day. Hot week.
My buddy Ryan's in here too. This is awesome.
Well, thank you for bringing everybody. Everybody, thank you for showing up. This is sick. Yeah. So I live stream with this guy. It's a lot of fun. It's the first hardware version. They have multiple versions now after this, and the software keeps coming out and it keeps getting better. You know, the mosaic view on this thing is really nice as a anti-Starlink trail application. So like it makes it possible, but I don't know how to do that on another rig. You know what I mean?
What is
course.
that?
So-
The Vespera? What is that?
It's a Vespera 1. Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it was actually off the Kickstarter, if you'll believe it. So,
Oh.
yeah. And I was
Pretty
able
big.
to make a 3D printed ring lens. So I grabbed some like SV Bony lenses and, you know, just,
There's always a way to
Able.
go with those things.
yeah. Yeah.
Very, very
Find a
easy.
little thread adapter and a little hot glue. You're good. It doesn't take much
course.
more than that. Yeah. Bonehead says, I was at Cherry Springs and Black Forest. First time going out to those events. Playing on Okie Techs as well this year, but I'm working that out.
Yep.
Nice.
Showed up with this F-250 next to my little baby truck. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. No, those events, this is like one of those things. That's why I'm so glad we're doing this, because like everyone has different experiences with astronomy and you get into it different ways. And one of the cool things about us getting together and talking is like we just get to share our own different experiences. I did not grow up with people. I grew up, so the science teacher in town for like the elementary schools, Mr. Haffey, he would bring around his telescope and we would look at Saturn every year. And that was like the amazing star thing, and then the inflatable observatories inside, which were a blast. But like that was my exposure. Like other than that, there really wasn't. I mean, obviously in Boston, the observatory, but yeah, like that's it. And so to get to talk with you guys, and luckily to have a rig that works automatically for me is great for content and for sharing it, because that's part of this space podcast, is to also do astronomy and give people, like, the coolest thing I've heard from live streaming my telescope is like, especially parents, people with kids who are up late or just up late in general, like they just get to put it on in the background and chill out. Like, I think that's great.
Oh yeah.
Of course, it makes it a lot easier too. You know, I mean, what you have is like stress free
Yeah.
compared to what we like. You don't even have to worry about cable management and all that stuff. Like
I
we have
know.
to go outside after like a meridian flip, and it's like
Yeah.
you got to make sure all these cords are not tugging. That's like our main thing. But I mean, the quality of both of these telescopes, a smart telescope and just like a massive research setup, is just they still produce unbelievable quality. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, this whole hobby's come such a long way in the last 15 years. It's unbelievable if you really think of it.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
No, I mean the technology improves. That's what you were saying that your thing updates. That's kind of nice. The only updates mine does is when my computer has like a Windows update. There's no
Oh, me too.
updates
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
things,
And then
but
you're like, no, what is it going to do to
it
this?
breaks. It definitely
Yeah.
breaks. I try to disconnect my everything if I can.
Yeah. Well, and I have 14 3D printers in my lab, so like I don't need another thing to tinker with. So mad respect
You sure?
because no, not yet. Anyways, not yet. A solar rig, maybe, maybe. I think that's something I'd like to do. Is
Oh yeah.
really get great images of the surface.
Yeah, there's a guy online that's Simon. I forgot his handle. He does incredible shots of close-ups of the
Mm,
sun, like with a HA filter, and he gives a dedicated solar rig. But it's pretty crazy.
yeah.
And I mean, that'd be nice to have one during the day because then there's a lot more clear days than there are clear nights. At
Right.
least, you know,
That's another thing that we were talking about beforehand is how terrible this last year has been for like free clear weather, especially up here in Massachusetts. It's been like impossible to get the telescope out.
yes, that is the challenging part. And then the few nights that are clear are windy, so you gotta
Hmm.
go out there and try. And I mean, use your car to block the telescope or something because
I know,
even
seriously.
Yeah.
even
Get a
mine,
tent.
yeah, even my rig at like 240 pounds, wind still makes it jiggle because it's like a giant sail because it's so
Mm,
big. So yeah, you got to block it where you can. I mean, I've seen people do like there's a company called Skybox that you can build your own like observatory square, but or you can get a tent or something like that. But yeah, that's
mm.
yeah, the weather's been challenging this last year, and especially the last 3 months has been really hard too.
Oh,
Yeah.
For
100%.
my birthday in December, I was like, I'm going to reserve myself and go to Cherry Springs because it's free to go. Well, you have to pay monthly or nightly for camping, but you can go anytime. And I was going to go on the new moon, and of course, it was completely overcast and slightly snowing up there, so I did not go,
Mm.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and then here in Massachusetts, like I haven't even actually gotten like real data since Cherry Springs back in September. So I mean, it's been like terrible. It's one of the worst years weather-wise that I've witnessed here in Massachusetts. And it's honestly, that's why you're just playing around with old data, and it just kind of gets boring when you can't get any new light. So
Yeah.
Yeah, our last captured data, dedicated data, was in Black Forest. I also did Almost Heaven. I think that was before it. I'm not remembering correctly. And then maybe in November, I captured something, but it was February before I started capturing again. So
Yeah. I was just looking up because there was some crazy boneheads was saying the winter in Michigan's really bad. Astrodet said awful winter. The beginning of this year, or no, the beginning of last year, we had almost 3 to 4 months of like consecutive days of no clear skies. It was
yeah,
just clouds for weeks on end.
but
And yeah, I think April was like the next time that I really got the telescope out. It was insane.
yeah, I did. Novak has several nights that you can go to Spruce Knob Mountain. They have like a deal with them.
Mm,
So I went out there in April in 2025, and only one of the nights were clear of the 4 nights I was there. And then it started getting better throughout the year.
mm,
Yeah, the first part of the year was rough.
yeah.
Help doesn't work good on your mental health, that's for sure. So
No.
no.
No. Now looking at the sky helps.
yeah.
We were robbed of it. It was
And I feel
terrible.
like when it's cloudy, I'm just buying more gear to bide my time or
Right.
redoing my gear. Or like I
Yeah.
just refreshed my entire layout since September. So
It's cool. Well,
yeah.
let's go around. Let's talk about what you're working with now.
All right. Andrew, you want to go? Keep it in order.
So the images wise or gear wise?
Gear wise.
Gear wise, alrighty. So back in the only new gear that I've really got, and I don't think it brought any cloudy skies, honestly, because it gave me one clear night in Pennsylvania, and that was it. But I just have the Red Cat, and so what I'm trying to do right now is move away from the giant rig that I have because,
Mm,
like we said, the weather's been so bad. I can't really set that thing up outside and hope for the best, and then leave it
right.
out there for about 2 weeks and not use it. So what I'm moving to right now is more of the Red Cat setup that I bought out at Black Forest Star Party, And so I'm gonna convert my little 533 MC Pro camera and get it like an ASI or mini or something that can connect that camera to make it into a little bit of like a small astrophotography setup with my AVX mount. And so I don't have to basically set up the massive rig, and I can just have something that's very transportable, something that's very light, and I really don't have to worry about it overnight if it's taking some images, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like right now, my main rig is the Edge HD, and it is that 533 MC Pro camera. There it is, right there. And there's a lot of components to it. You have the EQ6 mount, and then you have the 533 MC Pro camera, and then you have a mini camera for auto guiding. But that little red box that's on that's piggybacked on the top of that telescope right there that Alex is circling. That's what I'm gonna use to convert a smaller setup and connect it to this little red camera down here for a more of a easy to ready to go setup.
Mm.
Because I would rather have two setups going than one setup, honestly. I'd rather get more data while I have more clear nights, even if it's just a handful a year.
I recommend sticking a bunch of telescopes on one mount. It's great.
Yeah, your setup is something else, man. That thing, that thing is something else.
You
But
can have two of those.
that's true. That is true. So, but no, that thing right there, that's my baby. I'm very grateful for that. I'm just hoping to, I'm hoping to see what this year can bring
Mm.
astrophotography wise, and I'm hoping to see how I can utilize more tools to get more data. So,
Mm.
I mean,
Love
we're just
that.
gonna keep going from there, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about you, Thorne?
Sure, I can share my screen. So let me figure this out. All right, our screen.
Bonehead's thinking about getting an ASI 4400 MC.
I heard really good things about those.
No, you know what?
Sensor
I
on
will
those are
say that I'm kind
insane.
of jealous that I didn't go the ASIA route because of the connectivity easiness of this. I decided to go, but so this is my rig. This is I got this new mount. This is the CEM 120, so it can hold like 115 pounds rated. So I have these two 8-inch Razas. Last year, I upgraded the cameras to the QHY 268. This one's the color version, and this is the mono version. And I also have the Beta FFC filter doors and tilter, so I can slide in filter. So I have a luminance filter for my color, and then this one I do luminance directly for just mono luminance data. That I have an HA and I have an O3 filter. But I haven't really got any more filters because it's challenging to, and they're expensive, like $550 each for the F2 versions. But
Wow.
and then this is my, and then I'll show you. Let's see if I can get this.
With those, I'm with you on those too, Thorne. Like those filters, I have a lot of them. They're expensive. I'll tell you that.
They are. They add up,
Oh.
and but this is what I got. I don't know if you can still see this, right?
Yeah.
But this is the new thing I worked on. So I was trying to be a little more organized. So this is my dual saddle mount. This is the one-shot color. This is essentially how the camera, and it's like having one telescope, and then you're piggybacking the stuff on the right. This is just a more organized power box, MIDI guide scope, mini PC, and wireless router. And I'm thinking I'm being clever. So instead of adding another dew heater ring, I'm using the radiant heat from the wireless router
Love
to keep
that.
my lens free of dew. And it's working out so far. And then this one is this larger piece, so you can adjust it, because I learned the hard way that when you have a dual telescope, it doesn't automatically point at the same target. So you have to like tweak it a little bit. So you can get on the dead center, and then you can overlap the data a lot easier. So
Cool. No, I love that.
but I do have a
Your
second
setup's
rig now.
crazy.
Since I bought a new mount, I have another mount, and I have another tripod, and I have a Fluorostar 91 that I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use. I use that for the eclipse.
I was about to say that. Yeah, you brought that small little setup.
Yeah, because you can't take pictures of the solar eclipse or the sun with the Razas just because of the dew shield cover, the filter on the front, and then the cameras would need to breathe because they're on the front of it. So it's, I'm sure there's a way, but it's kind of risky. And at f2, it's really hard to get short exposures that your camera can read without it being like the threshold of your camera's abilities. So, but yeah.
Hey, just want to interrupt the podcast. If you work for a business or you're the CEO, CTO, CMO of a space robotics technology business, we would love to hear from you, especially if you're interested in advertising jobs here on Today in Space. We'd love to hear from you. I think one of the things that's blown me away about this podcast, as someone that went to aerospace engineering before SpaceX really hit it off and became the Goliath that it is in the space industry, there really weren't a lot of places that you could go work at that were doing enough space business that there was a ton of open jobs for aerospace engineers. And now, as I've learned throughout the podcast, there's so many jobs that need to be filled in the space industry. Even NASA, from the top, from Jared Isaacman, the administrator, saying they need to hire more talented people. So many people that listen to this podcast dream about working in the space industry, have worked in the space industry and now are out of it, or are in on the ground doing the work or starting a business of their own in the space industry. As there's also a lot of people who are just curious about it and may want to jump in, this is the perfect place to advertise if you are a business, but specifically, not just your business, jobs. We need to get talented people into this industry, and Today in Space is uniquely positioned to help people who are space curious, who have the passion for space, who listen to this podcast, to find the best jobs that are in the market. So if you're a business, you're looking to hire people in the space industry, reach out to us at todayinspacepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Let's figure out a way where we can promote your jobs and do a little business here. Thank you.
You got to think too. It's like, speaking on the solar eclipse real quick, it's basically showtime. You have like that 3 minute. We had what 3 minutes and 23 seconds totality.
Yeah.
So like we're running the rounds. We're dialed in. You know, you got to take in the moment for yourself. You want to get the right photo. You got so much happening in that one little moment. It's kind of like, all right, you're kind of stressed. You don't know what to do. So the preparation is absolutely. It's like do or die preparation. It's a moment that you never really know unless you travel out of the country. Basically, right now. If you're gonna ever see it again, and you don't want to pass up on the opportunity, you want to have something to look back on, but you also want something to stick with you for the rest of your life. So
yeah, and I was up with family and my nieces and nephews, and it was so cool to be able to experience that with them and to like be there to like help them understand what's happening and stuff like that. But also super stressful. Like this guy, the GPS position was off enough that it mistimed the actual totality.
Every 100 feet matters.
But the manual one I had, the other one, I think it's called, I don't remember, but it's the manual lens from Vaonis. I'll remember in a second here. But that had my cell phone on it, and that actually held. So that was the best thing that I ended up taking.
Your device that's like flat that you put your phone on top of it. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. Just a bunch of lenses and a prism. It's
so funny how that works for. So I'm running calculations on everywhere I went. So every place I went to, I had a different sequence because the timing is a little different. I mean, it's not significantly different, but it's enough that you can miss like Bailey's beads or certain things you're trying to get. So we're jumping around, and then we kept changing our location. So I'm in the hotel room with Jason and Thomas, two of the other buddies of ours that came with us up to Maine, and they're like, "We're going out to the bar tonight." I'm running different GPS locations for different because I wasn't sure exactly where we were going in this property that didn't show up on a map. So I was like, I don't really know where we're going. So I made a couple versions.
I
like,
mean, I'm there. That's what you had to do.
We had to drive up a dirt path, and like this path was the middle of nowhere. But as soon as you got up to the guy's driveway and you look at Mount Katahdin in the distance, you're like, all right, now we have probably the best view of the country for this right here.
Best view. I mean, I would beg someone to compete with a view. Like I'd be like, sure, maybe it's better, but I mean, that was a really great view, and we got lucky with that guy. I forgot his name.
I think his name was Thomas as well, right? Or Tim.
Tim Thomas. Yeah, I'm not sure, but cool guy, was welcoming to let us have there. And then, of course, during the actual eclipse, there was like a birthday party going on for the bunch of kids. I had the opportunity to eat moose dogs.
They would not let us leave without giving us a full plate of food.
It was like family reunion style, huge. Yes.
Yep.
That's great.
Oh man, I cannot wait to talk about that more when Matt joins the chat. You know what I mean? Though that's gonna.
And big shout out to Matt at Astronomy. Like he is the reason we're all together and hanging out, and a freaking legend. So big shout out to him. And the reunion will happen soon. it'll happen when it happens. So
It's so funny. When I remember meeting him at Cherry Springs 23, and that's also the same time I met Trevor and his wife at the same time out there, and he's just like instantly friends. Like I walked up to him, he's like, "Hey, buddy," I'm like, "Hey." We've been because we've chatted a couple times on Instagram, but you just never know meeting somebody in person. Like,
True.
you know, a lot of this people are more introverted. You find them later, but he's not introverted, and he's very out there and friendly and super helpful. So cool guy.
There he is.
Yep.
That's our buddy.
There he is.
He's a great, funny guy. So me and him are actually in the same astronomy society here in the South Shore. So South Shore Astronomical Society. I mean, we haven't been to a meeting in a good while, honestly, because you know, like life's been busy. You know, that's why he can't make it tonight. And so, I mean, but being in that community is really, really cool because there's a lot of people, like-minded people like us in there that just want to learn a little bit more of how to take photos in the night sky, how to find things in the night sky, and we basically tell them. We actually show them how to make their life a little bit easier, and nothing has to be stress-free when it comes to this hobby. Because when something's stressful, you kind of want to just give up on it. So we want to make sure that they just want to stay interested and they want to just keep pushing, and then basically you get good things. So.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. When I have people want to join this hobby, I'm like, well, just as long as you're comfortable with a lot of, you got to celebrate the moments that are good, the little successes in the night, because there's going to be a lot of failures. Every time I go out, I forget something. I went out and fully was going to image. I did volunteer event in December, and I show up without any of my filters because I just left them. Like, so I was just. But you know, you can show stuff, but you know, I have a checklist.
Yeah.
But you still forget stuff every single time, or something doesn't work, or Windows wants to update and breaks all your drivers.
Of course.
You just
That's why you always
like,
got to bring backups. You always have to bring backups.
Yep. All right.
I mean, what is that? I was at a Nope. I was at a Almost Heaven Star Party, or one of the nights I was at Spruce Knob, and my Wi-Fi router wasn't connecting, so I had to drive an hour and a half to I forgot the name of the town to grab at Walmart and buy a little miniature screen and an HDMI cable so I could plug into my mini PC on my computer or my telescope, and I got it to work. But that was a 3-hour detour.
Yeah.
But you got to do it sometimes.
Gotta push through the problem.
Extra SD cards.
Always. That's why God gave us Best Buy.
I know.
Oh yeah. When I go to these events, I carry triple backup of every cable that I have, or even bring extra cables because I've run across people asking for some kind of DSLR cable, because there's USB-C minis and they're like big chunky ones. So I have a bunch of those just in case, because my buddy Dave comes to these star parties with us to the West Virginia ones. He does DSLR stuff sometimes. So then a cable bends and you got to get a new one. So.
All right, folks. One final reminder here as we're doing this awesome episode with Andrew Abban and Thorne Ransom is, in the background, I haven't talked a lot about it because I've been documenting the process of building our own AI. And obviously, there are some trade secrets. There are just some things I want to make sure I build before I start talking about them. But the cool thing about me building an AI that will become a service for people to pay monthly for, to have basically my brain put into an AI to walk you through how to be successful with 3D printing. It's been a crazy journey. I'm excited to talk about it, and I want you to come along with me as we start breaking this down. And of course, if you're interested in getting in, we're going to do an initial release, small group of people. So if you are interested, hit me up so I can put you on a waiting list. And the easiest thing is to go to our website, ag3d-printing.com, sign up for the waitlist there. That's where I'm going to alert people about the release of our 3D printing AI. So if you're interested in that, please make sure to subscribe to that newsletter. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be really cool. And there's so much content that's going to be coming out about us building this. So if you like that kind of thing, if you want to learn more about AI and go from just being concerned about what AI could do to actively working on or with an AI that's actually making you better, right? that's the whole process that we're trying to do, and I'll talk more about, especially on our Substack channel, todayinspace.substack.com, with the madness of some of the biggest AI companies and thinking about how I'm going to build an AI company that's not just talking about the end of the world. I want AI to be like Mega Man for you. I want it to be a partner that enhances your humanity, like the AI on the ship in Star Trek that helps the crew accomplish their goals and live right on a spaceship going across the solar system and the galaxy. There are good AIs, and from a lot of companies, we're not seeing the good version of AI. So my hope is to show that we're going to be live streaming from our lab as we use the AI in our own 3D printing lab. You'll learn how to use it, how I use it. And if you actually get in on the AI, think of it as being able to access all the information I've put together after 10 years of 3D printing successfully in the industry, in plastics and metal and carbon fiber, so many different materials and printers. Instead of trying to book my time so that we can do a FaceTime, which is still possible, still available, I'm only one person. So even if that kicked off, it's not something that can scale me and help the most amount of people get into 3D printing and be successful at 3D printing, especially during the day, right? If you're in the middle of something and you're trying to figure out, do I need to buy a 3D printer? What's going on with my print? What kind of failure is this? What kind of things should I try? I want to start a business or I use it in my business. How can we find different ways to bring money in with this 3D printer to help us out in the office? There's it's an infinite amount of ways that it can help, and we're going to scratch the surface, and we'd love to have you join us. Go to ag3d-printing.com, sign up for the newsletter there. Let's go along on the journey together as we train an AI that's going to help human beings become producers and not just be consumers anymore, to make in America, make around the world, wherever you are locally, so that you can build things that are valuable to you and that are your own things. So very exciting stuff. I really can't wait to talk about it more. I'd love to hear what you think about it. And follow us on Instagram, AG3D Printing. And of course, our Substack, todayinspace.substack.com, where we're already doing a bunch of AI writing. If you want to hear how I thought about it and how I got to wanting to build an AI for 3D printing in the first place, we've already got an article up there. So go check it out and let's get back to the episode. I'm definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Being able to set up for a whole night. Like when I set this thing up and plan out the night, it's like how close to a full night of observations can I get to? So it's like I can just do as long as I have it in my little, east window, and it's really nice. I don't know if it's something I would have someone start out with the smart telescope. I really do think like doing manual first to understand it is super helpful. But I guess if you have kids,
what a controversial take.
Huh?
Well, it's a controversial take because it's like more challenging. I mean, it makes sense. You want to know what you're doing. Like, why are you pointing your telescope to the north? Like, why are you balancing? Like, those are kind of important foundational things you need to know. So then in the future, when you have all this stuff, you can fix it. But it's great for outreach. And I had a question for you. Do you plan out your targets? How do you do that? Do you have like a software you plan it with?
Multiple different things. So I go between, I think it's called night sky in my phone, and I go to the time. And so here I can show you so there's the Singularity app, which is for the Vespera. So you can plan out the whole night there. I can show you what a plan looks like here.
Because
it's not connected. Anyways, it has like parabolas and it tells you where it is in the sky.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
At the time, so you can kind of like pick the band of when you observe. And I'm doing the night sky app with like the 3D thing and like going to 10 p.m., 2 a.m. and seeing what it is in the sky. And sometimes I get it wrong, honestly. And then there's just a chunk where it's not there. Or the classic this year has just been clouds roll through and you're like, I got 2 hours of stuff and all night, So
just get your cloud pictures.
Or just nothing, and then it's just like a big.
At night? You don't watch it nervously out the window, like I do.
I'm in bed, like definitely, like looking at it, for sure. Oh, thinking. Yes, it's always the case. I'm always terrified, but you got to do what you got to do.
Andrew, how do you plan your targets?
Me, honestly, so I use the Sky Guide app on my phone,
Mm.
and I just plug in my camera sensor, and I try to see what my field of view is. Especially like I have a in my backyard, I can see anything from the whole east sky, basically nothing on the west. So anything in the
Yeah.
east or northeast, I could see just fine. So I just kind of plan around there. Basically, like Orion's belt, Orion's nebula's in there. I can get at least a solid maybe 4 to 5 hours if I start early on Orion's Nebula before it actually hits the tree line. But I typically just plan my targets around what fits in the camera sensor, what like nothing too big. I try to go for faint objects. I'm more of like a galaxy type of guy, like that drawn a galaxy image that I just
Yeah.
took out in Cherry Springs, and then the one of M81 out in Maine. I mean, it's
Pull
stuff
those up.
that I just love taking pictures of other universes. So usually when it comes to planning my targets, I try to plan for something that's distant, like if that makes sense, distant like that. Like Galaxy Season
Like
is my favorite
outside of
season.
outside of our
Exactly.
group. Mhm.
Exactly. Like right there, the image that Alex is pulling up. That's actually my Andromeda Galaxy image I'd taken back out in Cherry Springs back in September. And that was actually on a cloudy night, believe it or not. I think Thorne, that was our last night there, right?
Yeah, I
I
think the
think
last
so.
night was there. Yeah, because I tried to image. I think I tried to image that as well, but yours turned out a lot better than mine, so that's why I haven't posted mine. So
Yeah. And that was with the red cat that I bought. So it was a brand new red cat that some guy was selling out there for like, I think it was like $600. And I said, you know what? I'll pay myself back the week later. And so I bought it. Jameson helped me actually set that up. And hopefully he's still in the chat right now because without his help, I probably wouldn't have gotten that thing going. And so we produced this image right here. And so the top image is the star version of it. And so you see like a lot of stars, but you see a lot of halos around
yeah, the
some of
high.
the brighter stars because it was a hazy night. And then on the bottom, you have the starless image, which is just it's kind of incredible how much data
Yeah.
you can get and how much light that you can get basically on a hazy night. It's kind of like if you're
Dark
taking a
skies.
picture. Exactly. And
Yeah.
you're taking a picture of like air glow, basically, and that's what makes everything else kind of shine like that. That's at least what I think. Because when people take Milky Way photos and they get that air glow, it kind of brings out a lot more detail
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, going back to planning around my targets, I kind of just plan about around what I can see and what I have a window for, and then I just go from there basically. And usually in my backyard, it gives me until the meridian flip. Sometimes depending on if the object's all the way up in the sky. But I mean, yeah, basically just planning around what I'm able to photograph.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Because
would
we
say.
still have limited skies, so
Right.
Yeah, I would say I've only in the last year and a half been comfortable with not babysitting the meridian flip. I mean, I still check on it, make sure it
yeah.
did okay, but I've figured out how to get that to work. For me, I use Sky Safari. It's like on my phone to just figure out what chunk of the sky is available in that location, and then I use Nina's framing assistant, and they have several offline databases that you can reference. So someone they've recently done like a narrowband out database, so I can look at these targets and look for faint wispy stuff. And that's usually what I'm going after is like the faint wispy clouds that aren't really exciting. I mean, I like them. I think they're kind of just because they're just like these molecular clouds or lens dark nebula or light nebulas. I just
You
like
get a
that.
lot of like dark nebulae too.
Yeah, I love
Definitely a
those.
lot.
This last year, I did spend a little more time on some bright targets just because of the limited amount of time. And these dark targets need 10 to 20 hours. I mean, one of the dark targets, LDN 477, I did in 2023. I needed 26 hours on those. So really, this year, I'm hoping that I get more. I hope we all get more time. But yeah, there's not a lot of. Last year was not a lot of consecutive nights that I could get that. So. And as we all learned, the night sky moves pretty quickly. So a target that you had a month ago is not so in a great spot the next month. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's now when we look at Orion in the sky, and it's kind of like, all right, it's 5 o'clock and it's already heading towards the horizon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bye.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm connecting here because I wanted to pull up at least the stuff I was trying to do many night and many stacks on, because I don't remember anymore.
You kind of lose track of everything that you get. You know what I mean?
But it's always a surprise, you know. You're
Always.
like, oh, yeah.
How a question for you on your Spirit? How big are
Yeah.
each files? Are they like 25 megabytes, 50 megabytes?
So this one only has 10 gigabytes on board.
Gotcha.
And in a night's time, if I do a whole night, it's full. Like, it probably runs out around like 3 a.m. if it hit everything. So yeah, the next ones have a lot more on there, but you know, it's fine.
It's nice
I'm
for
in like
star hopping or target hopping, right? Jumping around in different targets. That's kind of nice.
exactly. Yeah. Let me pull these up here. Oh, I wonder.
Yeah, the Rosette project. I went after the Rosette Nebula last year. I think it was good enough. That was the first time I was using filters too. I saw that Matt's talking about that. So it's a great target.
Here, I think I can share my phone here. Oh, Rosette project. Yeah, I want to go back to Orion, and I want to do a lot more wide.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I think we lost him again.
Your voice is like repeating.
There you go. Wait, no. Let's see.
Say something.
How's that?
Better.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
volume's okay.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay, yeah, something old drivers. Something happens with the microphone sometimes. So
It's that Windows update.
yeah.
Oh, but now we can
So-
hear us talking.
Huh?
I can hear myself.
Oh, interesting.
And I do like
Matt's like, oh dear.
Oh man.
Hey, we're live. It's all part of the
Live.
process, you know.
This is what happens. You got to be prepared for it. All right. How we doing? Any better?
Let's see.
Let's see. Still hear myself.
Okay.
Pop through.
Definitely hear an echo.
Okay. It's not just
Okay.
that.
Yeah, is it on everybody, AstroDead?
Am I echoing? But I guess I don't know where it's from.
Right. Here, let me reset my microphone because that could be doing it too.
That's it. Let's start the chat over. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
On. This is just a
Chat's
practice
here
run.
for it.
Oh, perfect. This is the perfect time for me to talk about first.
Okay. Any better?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's much
Okay.
better. There we go.
Yay.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Whew. All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
Okay.
We are live.
You were going to show
We are
some
live.
pictures?
Yeah. Show some pictures. Do you have some you want to share?
Oh, me? Oh, sure. I can. I thought you were going
Oh.
to share something.
So,
Go ahead.
oh yes, I was. I got distracted.
Yeah, hard start. Update the drivers.
So this is what the app looks like. So these are the
Oh, wow.
saved observations. So I can do up to 5 of them and keep adding them. So these I have I think the most is 3.5 hours, but
Wow, look at that.
Does it give you suggested exposure lengths, or do you choose that?
it does. So if you select the object from their library that's just there, it has a selected setting for it. But there is an expert mode, so you can adjust all that stuff too. So I do have, so this one is named at the top, so that one says expert. So that was one of mine. But it's so interesting. I want to learn more about the post editing, post processing.
Do you really?
Oh, that's when
No,
everything comes
I
to
don't.
life. But I mean,
don't,
oh
actually.
my, that is
I
a
am.
process.
This is ease of use and ease of viewing, and also because with the space podcast and posting stuff about space, it's just like how much content can I put out that I'm still enjoying the process. So this makes it pretty easy to share what I've looked at the night before. It's lightweight, the files aren't that big, and the stacking that it's doing automatically
Does it
is
give you
pretty
the
impressive.
raw files so you could stack it separately if you wanted to?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
get a TIFF and export kind of the non-stacked. Yeah.
Well, if you ever want to learn how to, I mean, there's plenty of free softwares out there too, like Deep Sky Stacker or Cyril.
So we all
depending-
started right there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're a Windows or Mac, but there's plenty of options
Mac.
in both Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of options that you can use. I think Cyril is Cyril Mac? You know,
I think it is. I know Deep Sky Stacker is Windows.
Okay.
So
but yeah,
Yeah.
some of those are pretty straightforward. I don't know how to use Cyril, but I went into PixInsight, which is I don't recommend to start out with because it's
Mm,
expensive and also difficult. But I found
a lot of math, a lot of math involved.
A lot of
in
math.
those. Yeah.
But
yeah.
you get some cool people like me or other people who's helped me out, and I have like a workflow that I could share to at least get you started. Because when you open it up and
That's
it's just
cool.
blank, you're like, what do I do? So
You're like,
So,
I have
like-
a million tools, and I don't even know what
there's
they are.
tools in there that I've never even opened, and I don't know what they
Yeah.
do. So
And Thorne's right too. It's expensive because then you got to pay. I think
Mhm.
it's like $300 just to get the application itself. But
Yeah.
then you got to pay like another like $100 for presets that are actually going to be needed for your post processing. It'll make
True.
and all of these presets that you have to buy, they'll make it easier, but it costs
Yeah.
more money. They're all just little plugins.
I don't have
I
children,
know.
so it's fine.
These are your children.
They are insured children, actually.
Yes.
Sure, children. Yep.
No, that's great. I mean, it might be fun to do like a live post processing thing. We just hang out and do that. That might be fun.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to help. I mean, I'll share whatever I can help with. I've had some friends do that with me. So, I mean, I did not originate the dual Rasa telescopes. There's other people that do it. Even Bray Fall does it, who has the Starfront Observatory. But my buddy Stephen Morris in in South Australia, he's the one that I kind of learned how to do that from. And I talk to him all the time. I've done video chats with him. He's helped me with PixInsight. I've helped him with some stuff. I mean, he's helped me a lot more than I've helped him. But let's be honest. But good guy. Work with him. And actually, the dew shields that I had were his original design, and he's working with me on a new version of those too. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
I need a
Awesome.
3D printer because I have to send it up for someone to do
Oh,
it.
hey, Alex is
Yep.
the guy, man. I mean,
I
he's the
you.
guy.
No,
You
I
do
want
jobs
to
like
do.
if someone paid you to like print something, would you? Okay, then
Absolutely.
we might have a conversation very soon.
Perfect. No, that's right up my alley. I mean, I know Matt and I have talked about some stuff like all the mounting stuff, and you mentioned the wire management too. That's also another way that I think 3D printing could help a ton too.
Yes. So I don't have to buy
it's-
these Amazon clips. I mean, you can make your
Yeah.
own clips and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, I've got my thing pretty far down to one cable coming off of the mount. And the way my mount is set up is they have power adapter plugs in the saddle. But
Oh.
my mounts, I need to check it again, but I need 20 amps of power. I need 18 amps of power, and the 10 amps is what the max the mount can handle.
Mm.
So I have to have its own separate power source because it's the dual Rasa setup. I mean, it's the two cameras, the mini PC, the power device, the router, and the dew rings. They all add up and usually around 18 amps, what it requires at some point. So,
Wow.
yeah, I need to get bigger solar panels this year. So, I'll work on that.
Sick.
Well, like at Cherry Springs, there's power on the field, and you can, if you get there enough, you don't have to worry about struggling for power. But like the
Right.
star parties I go to in West Virginia are just there's a place you could go
Yeah.
plug about a mile or a mile and a half up the road,
Yeah.
but that's a long way to lug your heavy Jackery batteries. So I get solar panels to charge them up. So
It's probably the smartest way to go, honestly.
well,
Yeah.
and we did the
Never
solar
know where you're
panel
going.
charging our laptops and stuff for the Eclipse too, right?
We
So
did.
that was kind of fun.
Oh
We're like
yeah.
charging our telescopes and charging our cameras and everything while taking pictures of the sun. It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
Circle
that's
of life.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Sun's already up, and you have to set up the solar panels like right away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
you guys
showtime.
did. I didn't use any of my stuff.
No, no, no.
Nope. Not touching anything. So.
Bonehead says here, my entire setup is pretty much 3D printed and a 3D printer powered distro box. That's pretty cool. And it holds all his accessories.
It was just got a lot
He
of
has
cool
the
things,
coolest
honestly.
stuff. He shows up, and I think it's like a sled of stuff. Jameson had like this 3D mounted everything. It was pretty cool. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Well, we got to talk then. That's pretty
He
sweet.
needs to share. You'll have to share it with us at some point. I think he does electrical work and I'm not sure what he does, but his passion for wire management, that battery that he put together, he opened that up, and I was like, it's like professionally done. It's like, meanwhile, I'm like, don't look at my so bad. It's crazy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
that's a
Alex,
gift.
if you ever get the chance to see his whole entire setup, if you ever come out to Cherry Springs with us, like it's absolutely,
I'm pumped.
it's insane
I'm
what
coming.
this guy has in like toolboxes worth of just everything, man. I had to borrow some of his stuff. Like I mean, he just had everything.
That's dope.
Yeah, and I don't want to bring the room down. We don't know 100% if Cherry Springs happening because it was a little iffy last year. I believe it might happen. There's a lot of state park issues. However, it's still always open. So we all would just choose to go on a new moon night and go there for a couple days or a long weekend. And you just pay, I think it's like $30, $35 a night to camp there.
I'm not even not even concerned about that, honestly, as long as I get there and hang out with you guys, you know what I mean? But I don't want to just go out for a weekend. I want to go out for like an extended time, honestly, because 8 hours is like that drives too much, like sometimes, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's a long drive for you guys. I forgot.
Yeah.
I think it's a long, for me, it's like 5.5 hours. But it's not that bad. I've also been looking at land up there too. I was looking at West Virginia land, and there's a lot less land up there in Pennsylvania. But
it's a lot more darker skies, though.
Yeah. That's when no one's really selling land up there. They don't want to give it away. So
yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, the battery.
Okay. Should we do some total lunar eclipse stuff?
Yeah,
you know we should. That's coming up next Monday night, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's gonna be,
sir.
That is going to be absolutely beautiful.
And I'm excited because I have a DSLR and a lens now, and I actually have film photography. So I have an old Minolta, 1971 Minolta that my father gave me. That was his brother's that gave to him. So now I'm going to be able to hopefully do something like this if I can. Wow, that's not mine. That's awesome.
That's
Andrew.
Oh yeah. That is mine. So actually, that's what we should be seeing on Monday night into Tuesday, except for we're going to see the whole left side. We're not going to see the whole right side. It's for us on the East Coast. Moon's going to be setting when the moon is going to be in its totality phase as it's setting. So, but we do have clear skies for, I'm guessing, all three of us right here. We should be able to see that first half, which is actually really interesting, watching the full moon in the western sky set while it's blood red.
Make sure your western sky is low so you can see it as long.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's gonna be cold. That's what they're saying for us. It's gonna be about 5 degrees. But going into this photo right here, this was actually taken back in May of 2022, and so actually I took this all from my backyard with a DSLR camera and my AVX tracking mount, because at the time I didn't have anything smaller. I didn't have the EQ6. I didn't have a SkyGuider Pro.
Wow.
And so how I took that image was, actually I have it up on my phone, these little aspects of this lunar eclipse, and I know it was taken at different settings. As the moon got darker and deeper into Earth's shadow, you have to brighten up your exposure a little bit more. You have to basically, I'm picky when it comes to getting shots like these, and so I don't want to get any of that red color where the dark sliver of the moon is, basically, until we get closer to the totality phase. I want to get like the darkness of Earth's shadow, because if you overexpose that image of the moon, you're going to get the reddish blood color that everybody talks about. And so what I did, I took that image at, sorry, just bear with me real quick.
Oh, no worries.
So I took that image at. I was using the Canon 75 to 300 millimeter lens, and so it was taken at roughly 300 millimeters, the max that zoom lens can go at f 5.6. So that was as low the f-stop can go, and the ISO was at 200, but it was also shot at 1/200th of a second, basically. And as I kept going, I kept adjusting the settings. Like you had to play around with the ISO, you had to play around with how much light you're gonna gain to get more of that
Right.
blood color, basically. And throughout that whole entire night, I took about maybe 800 images.
Wow.
And these eclipses last for about maybe 5 hours or so, give or take the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And but I mean, as you can see right here, it's really rewarding what you can see. Like you can't see the penumbral phase of the Earth's shadow covering the moon, but when that partial phase hits, when the actual shadow hits, and everything just turns into like a whole different look, it's kind of like it's really out of this world. I've seen about five, I think actually six of them, and it's absolutely beautiful what you can see.
Yeah,
I think
I
my most
recommend bracketing too, like bracketing your frames and
100%.
exposures. So
Yeah.
that's helps you because sometimes you think I think it looks good in the viewfinder, but like sometimes to have like 3 stops up or 3 stops down post. I mean, it's a lot of data.
Oh yeah.
Later. So
I mean,
Yeah.
the most recent one that we just had was the one last March, and believe it or not, where I took those images, I didn't send them out to you, but when I took those images was it was on an icy lake up in New Hampshire, right next to Winnipesaukee, Lake Wentworth, completely frozen in ice. And I actually walked out. It sounds very really dumb, but I checked the ice. I put a drill in the ice. I was actually up in I was up at my buddy Kyle's place. And I was like, dude, we're gonna have cloudy skies at home. I'd rather just drive all the way up 3 hours to the lakes region and see what I can find and hope for the best with clear skies. Clear that entire night. We walked out to the middle of the lake. I had my DSLR, my little Sky Guider Pro, and we had a few we had a few beers out there. But I mean, like it's freezing out there. You gotta
Yeah.
have a drink with you. You know what I mean?
Gotta stay warm.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And basically, you're just like in the middle of the lake, and you're just watching the mountains around you and everything go from like it looked like daytime because how bright the moon was, the full moon, to just complete darkness and just silence. And it was just absolutely incredible just watching that unfold on an icy lake too.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
So that was probably one of the best experience I've had location wise watching an eclipse. So I think it was really, really cool.
That's so cool, man.
That's why people don't miss this, seriously, especially our friend Matt in the Midwest right now. I mean, he's gonna have a better look than we do out in the Midwest. So hopefully he gets some good images of this eclipse.
Hell yeah. Oh, and welcome, Deborah. It's good to see you here, Deborah. So this is from back in 2014, I think, and this was with my DSLR at the time, and just free taking images, and then I made an animation of this. The focus was I did not know what I was doing with the focus, but
wow, when was this from?
I think
I think it was 2014.
I know
Oh,
there was one in September of 2015.
Let me see. I have the date here.
I can say that I've never.
Oh, it was the 15th here. Let me share this page.
I've never
Yes, I
imaged the
did.
lunar eclipse. I've watched many of them. I do go out, but it's with my Razos, it's hard to image that. So
Here it is. We did a whole
Oh wow.
2015. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my first ever eclipse, not gonna lie.
It might have been mine too. Yeah.
You know, it's really is insane watching the Earth's shadow just take over the moon, basically. I mean, it's unique.
Yeah. Yeah. And the solar eclipse is like the whole other level. Like
Oh,
And
really-
100%.
and pretty wild too. I mean, obviously, maybe in another 100,000 or 200,000 years, it won't be in that exact spot because it's moving away a slow amount from us. But
I
right.
think an inch per year, right?
yeah,
I
something,
think.
something that seems like a lot more than it should be. But it's been doing that for a long time. So, but thankfully, the moon's there because that's how we have a stable tilt and rotation and all that stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Wow,
love
look
hate
at that.
relationship with the moon. So it's great when it covers the sun. I'm cool with that.
Speaking of the moon, we're going back in April around the moon.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Artemis II.
And I cannot wait for that. I know they just rolled back the rocket itself
they got
today.
Yep.
hydrogen issues or
I think it was the
Helium?
helium atoms, I think.
Hydrogen, yep. It
Hydrogen.
was hydrogen stinks. It's very efficient. Let me start with that. Very great rocket fuel because there's a ton of it, so you could put so much more fuel in the same space. But it's also the smallest element, so the atom is very small and it leaks from everything. So you've got this whole rocket that took 3 years to assemble and put together and have all those checks. Then it's rolled out of the pad. Then those contact plates need to be perfect. So there's no scratches, there's no, and then it's heating up and cooling down. And it's just the problem with how much is out of your control with a hydrogen rocket is just, it's why it takes so long. And it happened with the shuttle in 1990 where they had to swap out shuttles because they couldn't fix the hydrogen leak. And then they didn't solve the problem. And then it finally the weather got better and they were able to fix it. So,
I mean, these are manned missions, so that safety is important. I mean, I would love for them to go up there, but safety is important because if we have, fatalities and issues, that sets back things so far for a lot of reasons.
Listen, they were supposed to launch this month. That got pushed back to March, and now when they found this problem recently, now they're pushing the launch back to April, possibly May. Believe it or not. And I mean, but like Thorne just said, safety is the number one priority. And, we want to get back to the moon, and I mean, we really have no choice. But safety is the number one thing. You're launching 4 people around the moon, the furthest humans actually ever gone in space. And so, I mean,
beating the Apollo 13 record.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is going to be something that it has to be perfect.
And it's steps, right? Because this is the first step to orbit the moon, and then Artemis 3 is for actually going there.
Yep.
When is that one planned? Is that even on the?
Well,
next year.
Depends on this.
So Starship is the landing system, the human landing system, and Starship has not successfully gone into orbit. So not that I don't think it won't, and the speed that it's going is still faster than any contractor that is out there. So until that gets refueled in orbit, we're a long way. But that's like the next milestone for them. So they got to launch 2. They got to meet and fuel in orbit, which has never been done before. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you've got to do that and then still land those. And so that way you've got reusability, Otherwise it becomes very expensive.
Yeah. I mean, we already figured out step 1, reusability. Obviously SpaceX, they figured it out, saving money, cost efficient. Now you're getting towards basically doing the same thing for the last 15 years. Now you have to do this airborne. You have to do this in space. That's the hardest part, you know, and that's why catching the Starship booster, and just even catching the thing and then launching it back up, it's a huge step in the right direction, but it's going to be a long time, in my opinion, before we really, really start doing that. Because then when you put humans as a big factor and you get one scratch on the rocket, something could go bad in orbit, and we can't have that.
They did it in Interstellar. I mean, they can blow a ship and spin, rotate, and connect to it. So why can't we do it?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's gonna need Christopher Nolan just to go up there just to make sure everything goes right.
we need one of those TARDIS robots too, for sure. For sure.
Exactly. It's gonna make sure they come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And what's interesting is that Artemis is like not necessarily the whole reason for the program is not necessarily the space launch system and the Orion capsule. Like it's the thing that's going to get us going, but it's not like the Apollo mission that had the vehicle. It's like it's going to evolve and do a whole bunch of different vehicles, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
we've seen a bunch of the private landers, Firefly being the only successful one, but cheaper missions, right? Robotics, send them first. Like the moon is so. It's amazing that we did it the first time and that we went through Apollo 17, but also it's like even worse than the Wild West pioneers. Like GPS, there's not that much GPS. We don't really know all the terrain. Um, a lot of the landers were having issue communicating
Yeah.
at the bottom. The dust accumulation is crazy. Astronauts were getting sick in their sealed suits. Um, there's a lot of problems that we need to solve there. And I like that we're doing it changes all the time if you're following online, but Moon or Mars first is always the discussion. And I like the Moon to Mars. It's also part of our logo, which is why we made it. But like, you learn on the place where you have the backup option, right? Back to the thing about the astronauts. Like, if you care about exploration and the humans that you're working to get them into space,
Yeah.
like, you want to make sure they come back safely. So having a backup option, like you go to Mars, that 9-month window, like, unless you went right back, which I'm not even sure if that's possible. Like if you immediately went back around
I think
Mars
it
and
depends on the timing and like
you
placement.
might be able to, right? Like if you
Right.
got there early in the um, home and transfer, but yeah, it's dangerous. That's a
Yeah.
long trip.
Yeah. We don't have refueling stations out there. So,
Nope.
yeah. And it's easier to
No.
launch stuff from the moon. Less like if you build stuff on the moon and launch stuff from the moon, it's a different story than launching stuff from Earth because of the amount of energy and risk bringing stuff off Earth. So,
It's just
Yeah.
more of just the trajectory and how much power that the moon can give us to give us a slingshot unless you go back towards Earth and then you get a slingshot. You know what I mean? I think it's more about trajectory
Yeah.
more than anything. You know what I mean? I think that's what's really I think that's what it really comes down to, the way that I think of it. You know, what's gonna get us out there to Mars in the most efficient way possible without having a severe problem, occurring.
yep.
Yeah.
And the moon's a great place to test stuff out without the. I mean, the moon's pretty far away, but it's still
Yes.
a lot easier to test things out. Have
Are
communication. I think it's what is it? How many minute window is it to 30 minutes to the Mars? Like how many light minutes?
Oh, for the delay in the communication. I think at worst it could be that high. Yeah, I think, but it's at least I think 11.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So 11 minutes for sending a message, and then another 11
Right.
minutes waiting for a response, kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
the moon's I think 1.3 seconds or something like that. So it's
Right.
like, gosh, sure.
And you have visual confirmation, right? If you're on the front side of the moon, like,
Yeah.
then we could have satellites fly by. We could get telescopes, like,
Oh yeah, I
Mars.
forgot.
Otherwise, we're screwed. But yeah, someone said like they did in The Martian with um, the
Oh,
orbital
oh yeah, with
slingshot. Yeah, is great.
the satellites.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot what satellite. I think it was a Chinese satellite that did more mapping of the moon, like on the side, the other opposite side that we don't get to
Yes.
see. So it's cool to see those detailed. I mean, lots of craters, but that's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things about Artemis II is that they're actually going to, if everything lines up on their orbit as they figure eight around the back, they're going to be able to see more of that side of the moon than any of the NASA missions have seen. So it's going to be very cool.
There's a lot to look forward to about this whole thing. And you know what's awesome though? It keeps us questioning. You know what I mean? It really
Yeah.
keeps us questioning like, hey, what are they gonna do about this? How are we gonna get there? And corresponding with astronomy, they always want to
Hmm.
leave you questions. That's the whole point of the universe is to leave you with a question. Never
Yeah.
really give you an answer. But once we figure out those answers, and we're gonna figure out they're gonna be very smart answers. I mean, it's gonna be safer travels. It's gonna be
Hmm.
more efficient, you know, and
Yeah.
it's gonna make us it's gonna make us want to explore more.
Hmm.
It's a step by step process.
100%.
So I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Same here. It's gonna be. We have a lot of amazing stuff in space to look forward to. We're so lucky that the space industry had such a boom in the last decade to be ready for this moment, and even still, like China is a very, you know, highly competitive right now. They actually have more success landing on the moon robotically recently
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
than anybody. So, like, they're definitely not to be under underappreciated there. But
Competition is great too. It's a
yeah,
motivator for a lot of
it's
people.
ambition.
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah, and get the for us in America, get the private companies doing it, and they're doing it cheaper, so you can do it. You can have more attempts. Like,
Commercial, man. That's
yep,
all it is, man.
yep.
Commercial. I mean, NASA, honestly, in my opinion, would not really be much of anything without that commercial funding
They've been
right
tied
now.
from the very beginning. McDonnell Douglas, Pratt and Whitney, all those original contractors. That's that's what built it in tandem. Yeah, yeah, and we have a NASA administrator with Jared Isaacman who is from the private sector,
Yep.
um, but also has a deep respect of not only NASA but air flight
Yep.
and aerospace, and I think that's what a cool. It's kind of like James Webb in a way of just having that person at the right position to get us ready for what's happening. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but the Starliner uh, Type A mishap clarification. Did you guys
Oh, I
see that
saw.
in the last?
I did.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
Starliner event, they went and had a private investigation and officially said that that mishap is in the same bucket as Challenger and Columbia. So, in the level of risk and damage, and there is apparently like a number, like a cost that's associated with that too, that it has to reach. But um, they lost a thruster, and apparently some really great operators for the space station made the call to be like, stop, like, let's go back to the safety zone and make sure that the spacecraft has its 6 degrees of freedom to move in three-dimensional space. Uh, and if they hadn't, I mean, it's not just those two astronauts. That's the whole space station and everyone else on board.
The
So,
whole system would have been a total loss. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, the whole thing would have been a catastrophic disaster.
yeah. But back to what's the good about it with that, because it is a very sad day. Um, I like that Jared is having NASA take accountability for this stuff and setting the right mindset for the culture to be like, people tried to speak up. A lot of people felt like they couldn't speak up without, because you form relationships with these people. I'm sure working at NASA is like crazy in what you're able to do, and it's so awesome. And then those people that you get to work with, if you're able to serve for a long time, are like family. So there's that aspect, but um, yeah, it's when we're getting into more human spaceflight. That's, to me, that's the right posture for NASA to have. Is straight up, we're going to tell you all the information, and for whatever reason, probably political, why it wasn't made known. Um, that's
Yeah.
It's good that they give us an insight. Reminds me of the
Yeah.
scene out of The Martian, and
Yeah.
basically, you put out some public statements. Oh yeah, Mark Watney's stuck on Mars. What are we gonna do? Some dude comes out of nowhere and freaking fixes the problem. So it's good that they're informing us, because you never know who
Yeah.
can actually step up if something bad happens. Something very
Yeah.
bad goes wrong. NASA can't figure it out. Maybe somebody from the general public that knows
Right.
something that we don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
transparency is important.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they didn't hide. I mean, it's a little bit of a different example, but like, if the culture is to hide things that are uncomfortable to bring up because it's going to make someone look like they didn't do their job or whatever the situation is, imagine if that culture was there with Apollo 13 and we didn't want to talk about the filters, like that, that's just not what's needed for human space travel to operate with getting these people back home. So, that's good. It's dark, but
Yeah.
It needs to be addressed.
It's real. Yeah, it needs to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be. So, and luckily everyone was talented and spoke up when they had to stop the disaster from happening, even though the spacecraft wasn't healthy. So, yeah, just craziness. Could talk for hours about it.
I would love to.
Yeah, but guys, this has been great. We're just gonna do more of these whenever we get to hang out. Maybe when we actually have some clear skies, that'd be amazing too. But thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Any last words for the folks out there?
Look up.
Thank you. Look up. Keep doing what you're doing. Explore more. Honestly, can't really stress enough. I actually told somebody I met the other day. I'm 24 years old, but I've seen a lot of cool things. I met a lot of cool people. But you can't just do that sitting at home. You can't just do that not doing anything. Get out there. Be social. Get out there. Be your own person. Be confident. Because if not, you really never know who you're gonna run into. And I'm lucky, but anybody else can be lucky just like me. So definitely go out and explore, look up. You never know.
Hell yeah. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. Bonehead, thank you. Astrodad, thank you for being here. Deborah, everybody that joined live in the chat, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Cherry Springs, definitely. Black Forest, I've got to learn more about. But I cannot wait to meet in real life. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Victor, thank you.
What's up, Victor?
June and September. Sweet. Thank you. All right, guys. Everybody, spread love, spread science, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode of Today in Space. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.